Heute steht in der Race at Home Challenge das zweite Rennen auf dem Programm. Das ist eine spezielle Angelegenheit. Die Rennstrecke heute, die ist fiktiv, die gibt es nie. Die hat Formel-E erfunden. Es ist eine Rennstrecke mit 18 Kurven, sie ist relativ lang, relativ schnell und ja, man sagt, es hat die ein oder andere schwierige Schikane drin. Also der dürft ihr definitiv gespannt sein, aber es ist eine Herausforderung, die die Fahrer in der Formel E definitiv kennen, wenn man sich auf eine Rennstrecke vorbereiten muss, wo man vorher noch nie in echt gefahren ist. Wie das geht, wie man sich vorbereitet, das erklärt uns heute in dem Beitrag, der jetzt kommt, der Nyck de Vries, der holländische Rennfahrer. Der ist bei Mercedes-Benz angestellt, ist Formel 2 Champion und das grosse, hoffnungsvolle Talent. In seiner ersten Saison liegt er aktuell auf dem 13. Platz in der Meisterschaft und er wird uns heute erklären, warum 90% der Vorbereitung nicht an der Rennstrecke, sondern im Simulator passiert.
It's certainly the most difficult car I've driven so far, for many reasons. The circuits are extremely challenging. We always face very unique situations, so you always need to be able to adapt very quickly to new circumstances, and I think that is very challenging. Obviously, you try to prepare yourselves best possible. That's why we come here to prepare ourselves ahead of a race weekend and go through all the possible scenarios and race conditions. There will always be things thrown at you which are unexpected, and that's the key to avoid mistakes. I think it really helps as a rookie to have that kind of preparation going into a weekend.
When you get to the race weekend, all the preparation is done in the factory beforehand. It's basically, you have any issues or mistakes at the race, it's really difficult to claw that back. The better prepared you are, you're going to be in a good position because you're just there executing.
The real feel for the car is difficult to replicate here. I remember going through shakedown and feeling the track conditions, and I just couldn't believe it. I thought, what have I committed to? I mean, we were going through in 110 kilowatts and the grip was like driving on ice, and we only had like 2 free practice sessions before going into quali, and then the track evolves, but still there was only one real line, so as soon as you put your wheels outside you would risk to crash immediately.
We have a certain process that we follow, training the driver for push laps and target laps. This is the bulk of the early part of the race, so obviously they need to understand how to not only just extract the lap time, but to do it in an efficient manner. So we'll go through different energy levels, how to drive those.
So to me, the lift point in turn 1 is a bit early, but 10.
So you think
11,
we're okay?
I mean, obviously you have simulations which are a lot smarter.
No, but you're thinking from a pure racing point of view.
Yeah.
You feel we're vulnerable into turn 1.
It was just something I noticed. Let's say.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
No, I mean that's the whole point.
But we basically take a race day format and we try to kind of replicate that. Now, for me, in my first season, all the tracks are new, so we give me a little bit more time to learn the circuit and go through every session and every possible scenario, especially in race conditions when you have to manage energy, potentially battery temperature in Chile, all the full course yellows, attack mode, fan boost, and things that come across.
We'll do quite a lot of mileage. Just to make sure that Nick is ready. Every time we do a race run, he'll come back, he'll look at the data with the engineers, he'll look at his own performance, he has a little bit of a think about it, jumps back in, drives it again, and every time we do that iteration, his performance improves and he gives us better feedback. For us, this is really important, that way when he gets to the track, again, from simulator to track is always going to be a little bit different, but he's done everything he can do to put himself in that position to be able to succeed.
It was really in line with my lap time, so as soon as I went down on lap time and going a bit quicker, that was also the point I started to overconsume a little bit. I think race 2 was the perfect example of a traditional Formula E race. I mean, obviously this year they introduced the energy reduction for every minute we spent behind the safety car or in the full course yellow, and all those things, you practice, but once you race and you're under pressure, and then suddenly all those things become crucial, but at the same time you want to race too. So the key to use the simulator is to use it as a tool to prepare me for all the possible scenarios we could face during a race, all the switches, all the handlings we need to do through a race, track learning, energy management. So I think in Formula E, the simulator preparation is very important.